Ever felt like your presence is a little too much for people? Like you walk into a room and somehow the energy shifts. Not because you did anything wrong, but because something about you feels intense, mysterious, or hard for people to understand. And sometimes that can make you feel powerful, but also strangely lonely. Recently, someone in my comments shared something very similar, and it made me realize that this is actually something many people experience. So today, I want to talk about what it really means when your energy intimidates people. Hi, yes, hello, I'm Lavisa and welcome back to Lavisa Diaries. Today's video was inspired by something someone shared in my comments about feeling like their personality and presence can sometimes intimidate others and make it harder to find people who truly understand them. So let's talk about that. The first thing to understand is that having a strong presence isn't actually a bad thing. Some people naturally have quieter, softer energy, but others have something deeper, a kind of intensity, depth, or mystery that people notice immediately. And when people encounter something they don't fully understand, their first reaction is often discomfort. Not because you did something wrong, but because depth can feel unfamiliar to people who are used to simpler interactions. So sometimes intimidation isn't about being too much. Sometimes it just means you're different from what people expect. Okay, bestie, the second thing you need to understand is that not everyone will understand you. One of the hardest lessons in life is realizing that not everyone is meant to understand you, and that's completely fine. Some people connect easily with everyone, but others connect deeply with only a few people. If you are someone with a lot of inner depth, emotional awareness, or strong individuality, your circle may be naturally smaller, but smaller doesn't mean worse. It just means the connections you form are more often genuine. The next thing you need to understand is that the right people won't feel intimidated. The right people don't experience your depth as something scary. They experience it as something safe. Instead of feeling intimidated, they feel curious. Instead of pulling away, they lean in. Those are the people who appreciate authenticity rather than being comfortable with surface level connections, and those connections often take longer to find, but they tend to be the ones that last. Another thing, depth attracts the right kind of people. Something interesting about people who have strong or mysterious energy is that they don't attract everyone, but they often attract the right kind of people. So instead of thinking of your personality as something that pushes people away, it might be more accurate to see it as something that filters people. It naturally filters out the people who won't truly understand you anyway, and it leaves space for the ones who will. And those kind of connections might take longer to find, but they're usually the ones that feel the most genuine and real. And lastly, don't ever shrink yourself. When people feel misunderstood, their first instinct is to often shrink themselves, to be quieter, less expressive, less intense. But the truth is, shrinking yourself usually doesn't solve loneliness. It just hides the part of you that makes you unique. And the people who would actually appreciate those parts might never get the chance to see them. Sometimes the better choice is simply to stay authentic and let the right people find you over time. At the end, look, I understand feeling misunderstood can be painful, but sometimes it is also a sign that you're someone who experiences life with more depth and awareness than the average person. And while that might make your world a little quieter socially, it also makes your connections far more meaningful. The right people won't see your depth as something intimidating. They'll see it as something rare. If you like this video, do subscribe, and remember, sometimes being different isn't something you need to fix. Sometimes it's just something the right people will eventually understand. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!